afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Professor Keo Motuang. I'm the Director for Technology Transfer and Innovation at the Durban University of Technology. I've just joined Durban University of Technology on the 1st of November 2020. One of the things that has actually inspired me and made me excited to join Durban University of Technology is their Vision 2030, which is very clear. I quote, by 2030, our people must be innovative and entrepreneur, and which is exactly what Innovate Durban also want to see it happening. I am not just only the professor, as you can call me. I'm wearing two hats. I'm also an entrepreneur, for those who don't know. And I'm a very weird professor. I had a dream like Martin Luther King. Because remember those professors that are there, maybe they don't have a dream like Martin Luther King. I had a dream, and for me, because of my background of research is fascinating. I mean, my PhD is on tissue engineering of bone and cartilage, and I've obtained it at University of California in Davis in America. So, and usually the American professors, they've got companies. I think also is something that also drives me. And my mentor, my supervisor, also had a company. So for me, it was going back to South Africa, going home. I'm not going to be like the same. I'm going to make sure that I've got a company as well. Because I was the assistant dean for research in the Faculty of Science. And quite often when the professor needs to retire, they don't want to. They start asking, can I start working part-time? But why you want to work part-time? But you realize that it's not because of the love of the job, but it's because of ching-ching. They need that extra money. So I don't want to be in that situation. When I reach 65, or even if I have to leave now, I know that I've got global health waiting for me. One of the things that I want to see it happening, and wish I can see it happening, is to make sure that we train our students not to go and look for a job, but to be able to be an entrepreneur. My company, which is the name of my company, Global Health Biotech, I was able to turn, is a spin-off from the university. I was able to turn my research into commercialization. From my PhD, two things or three things that I'm going to talk about, and just to take you through. Number one, I'm manufacturing anti-inflammatory ointment for sports injuries. What happened in the market, a lot of the products that we've got in the market, you go and hurt yourself and you apply it. And on the other hand, people are now lazy to go to gym or to go and do workout because they always worried about the muscles. Oh my God, my muscles are going to be so painful. Then I had to come with the solutions because everybody wants a beautiful body like me, a summer body. They don't want to get fat, but you have to work hard and you have to go to gym. Hence, I have manufactured that product so that you apply it before and after physical activity. It's not only for the people going to the gym, it's also for people involved in sports. If everybody is going to be injured, then what's going to happen to the economy of the country? Hence, I brought the products that you applied before, not compared to the one that we've got it in the market. My innovation is based on the following. It's a case study from a gentleman who had a fractured arm. Gentleman was from the northern province. So the gentleman went to the hospital to go and consult. They took X-ray to confirm that, of course, the bone was broken. So the fracture, it was a closed fracture. As usual, no resources. And again, you can't blame company, you can't blame the government. Always has to come with a solution. The gentleman, I mean, it's our culture, decided to go and consult traditional healer. Traditional healer gave the gentleman a cocktail mix. I always prefer to call it a cocktail mix instead of the language that they usually. Gentleman drank that cocktail mix for a month. When the gentleman went back to the hospital so that they can put the POP, plaster of Paris, they did the X-ray and the bone was formed. And they asked, gentleman, what did you do? She said, no, I went and consulted to my ancestors or traditional, and they gave me something I drink. That for me was my aha moment. That's why I ended up jumping into the ship. Then, based on my background as a scientist, I had to make sure that I had to validate that scientifically and to test the safety and efficacy of that. And that's exactly what I did. During COVID, people couldn't go to gym because they were gymming from home. But I had to partnership with those people that were gymming from home to start allowing them that, you know what, you don't have to go to gym even if you can gym from home. You can get the product and start applying it. But it was not going fast as it was. I had to come with another strategy. Then I said, why don't I come with this slogan, unlock your muscles after lockdown by using La Africa Switha. You know, you have to keep on thinking out of the box. Of course, COVID has affected my business, but I had to come with a strategy as well that, you know what, you don't have to start complaining. Come, I can unlock your muscles, because people are also complaining about their muscles because of sitting at home, sitting there, attending, working online. Then I've got a solution. Apply that, and then it has also started working. Sometimes you go to the hospital, they will tell you that they don't have resources, and then they will give you either Brufen just for pain. I've got a solution for that, where I've manufactured this plant-based morphogenetic factor, where it's in the form of a syringe that you can give it to the orthopedic surgeon. When they go to the surgery, they can give it to you. What it does, it actually regenerates bone. Who has ever thought in Africa, in South Africa, we've got the solution that can replace allograft and autograft, which is currently the golden standard to treat bone. My mom had a severe osteoarthritis. And then what happened? We went to the hospital, arrived in the hospital, and they took x-ray, and they said to me, we won't be able to operate your mother right now. Then I asked the doctor, why? He says, you know what? Your mom is going to have to go to the waiting list. And so waiting list, one will expect waiting list, it means today, tomorrow. They said, no. We're talking about 4 years from now on. There comes 2014, we're going back. Guess what? When we arrived, they said, you know what? We cannot do anything to your mom. The knee has deteriorated further. Now you ask yourself a question. Whose fault was that? It was not my mom's fault. It was also not their fault. Remember, they don't have resources. So one has to understand that let's not always blame the government. Let's come with a solution that we can assist them. So it was not their fault. It was not my mother's fault. It was just, it happens, they don't have resources. Where are they going to get the resources? From us, innovators. Start thinking out of the box so that we can say, I've got a solution. I don't have to see anyone waiting for so many years waiting for the knee replacement. Another one that I have done, professors, researchers, I love them a bit. You know why? A lot of their products is always lying there. That's what they usually said. IP, intellectual property, is lying there in the library collecting dust. I have come with the solution. I have started to license those technology from the university. Meanwhile, that is aligned. Now, why can we say innovate Durban? How many university do we've got in Durban? How many IP are lying there? Why don't we go there to the university and take this IP and start innovating Durban? Quite often you had a youth that says they want to be an entrepreneur. Then you ask yourself a question, why you want to be an entrepreneur? Sometimes they don't have a clue why they want to be an entrepreneur. Sometimes we hear them this, as soon as I finish my master's, I will be an entrepreneur. It doesn't work like that. If you really want to thrive in the new economy, you have to start planning. And when you plan, you need to know how you're going to execute your plan. And I always tell the young entrepreneurs or the upcoming one that you also have to have a dream on what you wanted to do. It's not your mother's dream, it's not your father's dream, it's not the lecturer, it's your dream. When we start teaching our students or the research that they want to do, I think in terms of the way we've been training it, we need to tweak it a little bit and start talking about the design thinking. Design thinking meaning that if you want to do a research, don't just do a research for the sake of wearing a red gown. Hello? Of course it is good that you've got a title, but that is a taxpayer's money. What are they benefiting? In terms of the design thinking, you have to go to the community and ask them, what is the pain? So that you will be able to solve the real thing. A lot of people, they only think about the business canvas model. They forgot that it's not about your business. My business is not my business. It's actually the client, because they are the one. And I think this is where sometimes we get things wrong. When we talk about the value proposition canvas, there are two things that you need to think. Either is the product. If you are in my space, you will say the product. But if you are a social scientist, you will say the service. Because sometimes one has to be very careful, because the social scientists, they always said, I can't be an entrepreneur, but I said you can with the service. So you think about two things. Either is the service or the product. And then with the service, you're going to look at the product, you're going to look at the experience. And then from there, you're going to look at the benefits and the future. That makes the value proposition. Now, when you talk about your customers or your clients, you need to understand, what do they want? What is the pain? What do they need? And what are their fears? So you need, hence, design thinking, critical thinking is crucial, so that you'll be able to know how you can be able to align your product or your service with what the clients want. The other thing for the young innovators, make sure that you strengthen the bond with your customers. If your customers, you have to constantly asking them if they've happy with the product. If they're not happy, you need to take negativity. If they say, hey, your product is not working, don't try to convince them that it's working. And I think this is where sometimes the people want to do. Your product is not working. Yes, go back to the lab. Go and make sure. There might be something wrong that you're doing. So don't get that as negative when they tell you that it's not working. The other thing, never stop marketing your product. Wherever I am, somebody asks me something, I say, oh, are you having pain in the joint? He says, stop. I said, I've got a solution. So everybody must just see, when they see me, they must just see, oh, there's La Africa Sutha coming. Oh, there's nothing wrong. When you do the business canvas model or the business plan as the people, always incorporate the pestle. When I talk about the pestle, I talk about what can be political factors affecting your company. What can be the economic factors affecting your company? Should that happen? Is your company still going to run or not? Social factors, what can happen? Technology factors, we have seen now COVID has taught us a lesson that some of the companies have been closed. But if all these things, they were there, perhaps they would have come with the SWOT analysis, the weakness and the strength. But in most cases, and Mina, I'm very realistic, maybe it's because I'm a scientist. When you start selling a person, if tomorrow this laptop is not working or your company is not working, what are you going to say? They said you've been negative. As an entrepreneur, there's no time for being negative. Those are the kind of things that are really going to teach you how to do things. And another thing is the environmental factors, and it's also the legal factors. Those things, they are there. As an entrepreneur, when you build up your business, you must make sure that they are also incorporated. By 2030 now, looking at my company, I want to make sure that I've developed more products that I'll be able to, export. And I must also be able, by 2030, I've actually want to have an R&D in my company, which I'm working towards that, so that I can assist the young innovators who are not scientists and they have developed product. I must be able to assist in terms of testing their safety and the efficacy of their products. Because quite often, our young innovators, they develop products, but they really don't understand that there are legal issues in terms of testing the safety and efficacy of the products. So by 2030, I want to see myself being the leading in terms of that. And it's not a nice, environment to be. So you must understand it's a big fish. So by 2030, I must also be one of the black big fish in the space. And I'm definitely sure that I'll be able to do that.